Big breaking news now. Archie Gray has joined Tottenham from Leeds for £40 million. He's the fourth most expensive 18-year-old in footballing history.
Now, Tottenham might not be having the best season on the pitch currently, as they sit quite low down in the Premier League table. However, there are some bright sparks and optimism for the future at this football club. And in many videos, I've mentioned the youth and talent Tottenham have at their disposal. So today, we're going to be absolutely applauding another one of these players in the shape of Archie Gray. So on the Sonny Talk Spurs channel today, we're going to be saying why Archie Gray solves Tottenham's biggest problem. And if you are new to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, then drop us a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and also leave your comments down below. Could Archie Gray become a Tottenham legend? Now, I know that question is a very bold statement. It is quite out there, isn't it? But I think it could come true. I have so much faith in the potential of Archie Gray. I think he is such a good player and has been probably one of our best players of the season. You know, when we think about this season as a whole, it's not been that good. It's been very mediocre, if not very underwhelming. But Archie Gray has been a bright spark. So has Lucas Bergvall, which I'll probably do a video on him later down the line. But I want to focus on Archie Gray because this guy has been an absolute revelation, and we thought this could happen. We knew it could happen, but maybe not so soon, and maybe not the way he's shown the league how he can play the beautiful game. Because when we signed him for 40 million in the summer from Leeds, a lot of people said it was a hefty fee to pay for an 18-year-old, and it was. 40 million is a lot of money to pay for a player of that calibre. But at Leeds, he showed a lot of potential. He showed his versatility. He showed he can play in that defensive six mould, which Tottenham have been crying out for, and also play at fullback, which he's absolutely done to aplomb. All fair play to him. But the reason I wanted to do this video in a nutshell is because I saw a tweet about what Archie Gray has achieved at Tottenham so far. But before we go any further, a little cheeky plug here. I was on the most recent episode of talkSPORT's Tottenham show, Inside Spurs. It was myself alongside Abbi Summers and also former Tottenham defender, I should say, Sebastian Bassong. And we spoke about reacting to the Manchester City game, Bassong's time at the club, his best player, playing alongside the likes of Luka Modric and Rafa van der Vaart and Gareth Bale. So I'll do a little sneak peek of that for you guys now.
Because it's rotation, not being dropped, I'm still Ange, so don't worry.
He's the best fullback that Spurs got.
Everyone says we miss Van der Ven and Romero. I think maybe he's the bigger miss.
Technically, he must be the most gifted player. He should be able to dictate the game. People are not in the training ground. They don't know how they live together and the influence that he's having. When Lucas spoke, everybody listened because when Luka got angry, there's a reason.
He didn't really love playing football. He did it as a job. So is that a bit of a myth, or was there some truth in that?
That's 110% true.
Okay, terrific little player.
Yeah, he's a terrific player, don't worry. I scored the first ever Champions League goal for Spurs. I'm not that legend, but because I scored that goal...
You're awesome.
Yeah, no, but because I scored that goal, the first ever...
It's quite a legendary thing to do.
It's a legendary thing.
And the tweet read 20. Archie Gray tonight became only the second player to make 20 Premier League appearances for Tottenham Hotspur before turning 19, along with Aaron Lennon in 2006. Leeds. Saluting basically the players that Leeds have. You know, Leeds and Tottenham seem to have an okay relationship. They've got Manuel Solomon at the moment, but we got Archie Gray. And also, we're actually quite keen in signing Archie Gray's brother, so keep an eye on that one. But yeah, as I was saying beforehand, lots of people have saluted Archie Gray so far this season, and he should be getting all this credit.
Right. Well, I think Archie Gray's managed a lot of Tottenham players through games in these last sort of few months. I think him and Bergvall, you know, he was not playing tonight, got the goal in the first leg. When you think of what have Tottenham gained in these last sort of couple of months, it's them two. That's what they've gained. I know the results haven't gone great. They've had injuries, they've problems, but the only thing that probably the shining light to come out of it is these have probably grew up, almost had 12 months experience in 3 months. They probably weren't expected to play so many games in such a short period of time. And now, when you see a Tottenham team, you're not surprised, even though they're 18-year-old kids, that they're playing. You'd almost think, well, they're going to play. It's who's going to play with them.
Yeah. the one thing, when all these players are fit, I hope Gray plays. I think he's been an absolute credit, the young lad. I mean, I don't know him at all. Midfield. But from a distance, he turns up every week. Plays in the wrong position, plays in a stinking team at the moment with a lorry of injuries, and he plays every week. Yeah. He ain't one of them who goes, oh, you know what? I might step out of this one. And don't get me wrong, there are players like that. Everybody would have played with players like that who, when it ain't going well, thinking he turns up every week. I hope he plays when everybody's fit, because honestly, the kid's been an absolute credit, playing in a position that is not his position. Every week turns up every week.
It's like I said, I in a position that he's never played, mate. He's never played. An 18-year-old. Name me another Premier League team that's got two 18-year-olds and one playing out of position consistently. I'm so happy they're at our football club, and as I keep saying, in 2 or 3 years' time, I just pray to God I'm the beneficiary of their talent, mate, because if somebody else is getting it, I won't be happy.
To come in and I think have the reliance. We all know that we probably wouldn't have seen Gray and Bergvall if it wasn't for all the injuries. We would have seen them probably in the Europa League games, couple cup games. But you guys are absolutely right. It's fast-tracked their progress so much, both of them, and in particular Archie Gray, who has barely even played his position, in midfield. He's been left back, right back, centre back, and he's made that role his own. That actually I forget sometimes that he isn't actually a centre back. He's looked better than Dragusin when Dragusin that's his actual full-time role. So I think we've got a really, really special player there, and obviously I want to make sure we hold on to him, but I think that they are definitely the future, him and Bergvall.
Well, I think future leader as well, like you said, like he's got that maturity. Again, like you said, dealing with difficult circumstances. Yesterday, the Brentford fans were getting on his back, and also, like I said earlier, you watch that second goal back, and you see like Spurs playing out from the back under pressure. It's Gray the one that kind of beats that press. He has men coming onto him. He gets around them, shows that composure, plays it out to the wing, and then we move it inside. It's him that's kind of starting that move. He's actually, like, when you think about how Spurs play, and Romero is so good at kind of beating the press and breaking the lines with his passing. Gray has kind of actually filled in that role really well, because he's had Dragusin alongside him, who, let's be honest, isn't the greatest on the ball. His strengths come more in the defensive side of the game. And that's great, but also Spurs need to be able to play out from the back. I know we saw a very different Spurs yesterday, but that is what Ange's system relies on.
Yeah. And it's no surprise, because Archie Gray was signed as a defensive midfielder, a 6, and lots of people were not sure how many minutes he'd really get. They thought he'd be a rotational option, but because of Spurs' injury situation, he's had to fill in a number of positions, and especially positions that are not his own. And this is what Transfermarkt have broke his positions down as in game by game. And so far for Spurs, he's played 18 games at centre-back, 7 games at right-back, 5 games at left-back, and 2 games as a defensive midfielder. And bear in mind, the 2 games as a defensive midfielder were the first 2 games of the Premier League season, where he came on with 12 minutes to go in the 1-1 draw against Leicester, and came on with 17 minutes to go in the 4-0 win over Everton. So bear in mind, he has not played his position whatsoever. And this is the key point I want to make. Tottenham have been looking for a 6. We really need that player in midfield to come in and dominate that area. Archie Gray can do this. Archie Gray is the player who can do this, because the thing is with Archie Gray, he has so much potential. He's got so much, he's comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's strong. He's clever. He's got that nous for a pass. That's the perfect 6. That's the 6 we want. And everyone was like, oh, is he strong enough? Is he? He is strong enough to do this. He is perfect for this. And we could just see, like, in all his different, like, media interviews and just how he comes across, he just knows, like, he's got his head screwed on. He could become such a good player for this Tottenham side in the future.
Well, Archie, congratulations. Are you going to have to get used to all of these awards?
Nah, just being, I'm grateful for everyone, but, I'm lucky to be in the position that I'm in, and, the manager trusted me this year, and, it's ultimately up to the people that have trusted me, so yeah.
Yeah, the manager, this season has been on a regular basis full of praise for your performances. Just what's it been like, and how have you found the consistency in your performances this season?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and like I said, it's I'm grateful for the manager to trust me and put me in these different positions, because I've always said I'll always work my hardest in these positions that I'm not really used to, and I'll enjoy it, and I've been enjoying it, and it's a different challenge, but as I've said in interviews, probably last year at Leeds, I've always said, I love to learn different positions, and it just teaches different things about the game and makes you understand it a bit differently. So I'm enjoying it. So yeah.
Being a Leeds boy, it's incredible what he did. But my granddad and my dad, they left Leeds at an early age, and my granddad went on to achieve unbelievable things. What now is the Champions League. He won that, and that was at Nottingham Forest at the time, who were competing for titles. And hopefully I can do a similar thing, and that's what I want to do. I want to try and hopefully get the most trophies in my family, and hopefully that's with Spurs. So yeah.
Right. So Archie, take me into your kind of ambitions for this season. What is it that you want to try and achieve, and what is it that you want to try and achieve in your time at Spurs?
Obviously, challenge for a trophy. That's the obvious one, and for me personally, this season is try get as many minutes as possible, and just help the team as much as I can in any way.
Position-wise, you're obviously very versatile, which is a good thing for a young player. But what do you feel is your best position? What position do you enjoy most?
I don't really have a position I enjoy most. I think it's just the way a game goes. You know what I mean? But like I've said this so many times, I don't really care where I'm playing. To be honest, as long as I'm getting chances and. I've got my chance to show what I can do. Do you know what I mean? Anywhere on the pitch, I'm not really bothered. But people always say that they see me as a midfielder, and maybe that's where I see my position. But as of now and in the future especially, I don't really care where I play. Do you know what I mean? Especially if it's right back, if it's centre back, if it's midfield. I'm not really bothered as long as I'm getting my chances to show what I can do. So yeah.
And even in one of those, he says, the one about trophies, he's bulked up a little bit as well. He's put some mass on his body. So he is more than capable enough to play in those defensive areas. He's done it at centre-back, left centre-back, right centre-back, both full-backs. He is very good, and he's sort of been the strongest centre-back in partnership, whether it's been with Radja, Ben Davies, Kevin Danso. So in a bit of a crisis we've had where Tottenham have not necessarily been able to play their best, defensive line, he's had to come in and sort of, take the burden and really make it his own. And I saw some reports saying, like, statistically wise, he has not been the best defensively. But that's because none of Tottenham's defence has been good defensively. It's just what has happened across the board, which is a real shame. But that's not any of his fault. So I think Archie Gray could become a massive Spurs legend. But actually, before I say about him becoming a Spurs legend, that he just solves that problem. I feel like I need to get this point across. People say about, Rodri at Manchester City, Declan Rice at Arsenal, and Ryan Gravenberch at Liverpool as being like the best sixes, the best, 6-8s as well. Archie Gray should be our sixth next year, guaranteed. He should be starting in that position. He doesn't drop after this. He doesn't, find himself on the bench. He continues to start in this team. He is undroppable. And we're getting such a good England contingent now in this side. I praised Jed Spence in a recent video for England call-ups. Archie Gray maybe is close to that as well. I think Thomas Tuchel would have been impressed by what he has seen. I think he's going to be comfortable on the ball in midfield. He's got an eye for a pass. He will be perfect. And in regard to him being a Tottenham legend, I just can see him playing a lot of minutes for the club. He decided to join us over Brentford. Ange Postecoglou has put a lot of faith into him, and it's coming to fruition. And I have been so totally impressed with him. I just think he has been sublime this season. One of the players of the season. And it sounds like I'm being a bit... I said Jed Spence was a player of the season, but, in a season where it's been dire at times, he has been a shining light. But you're going to have to let me know in the comments down below. What do you make of Archie Gray? Do you think he's been one of the players of the season? Could he be a Tottenham legend? I'm keen to hear what you guys think of him. And as always, leave your likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also get your comments down below, as I said. And also, if you haven't checked it out already, go and check out the latest episode of Inside Spurs on the talkSPORT YouTube channel, alongside myself and Sebastian Bassong and Abbi Summers. But yeah, until then, up the Spurs. I'll see you guys pretty soon. Ciao.